What's good, YouTube? We are back again, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 spring fragrances, so stay tuned. Now guys, before I continue with my list, if you like my content, if you're looking for more fragrance reviews, cologne comparisons, and first impressions, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate it a lot. Now on this list, I've kind of split it up. It's still a little bit chilly around here, so I have some fragrances that are a little bit better suited for the slightly chillier days or the evening times. And then I have fragrances which are really nice for the warmer days that are moving more towards summer. My number 10 fragrance is none other than Latent by Parfums de Marly. This is probably one of the only floral fragrances that I really enjoy wearing myself. I find that florals tend to lean a little bit too feminine for my personal tastes. This one, it works really well. And this is also one that people really enjoy a lot. This is a beautiful floral unisex fragrance, so men or women can easily wear this one. And it is one of the most complimented fragrances I had in 2018. So this is my number 10 spot, Latent by Parfums de Marly. So in springtime, the weather's getting better. We start seeing a lot more green. We start smelling a lot more fresh, beautiful air. And what really captures that better than most fragrances out there, that is Très Nuit by Armand. Now this is a clone of Green Irish Tweed, but nonetheless, I actually kind of prefer this one a little bit more. Now the reason for that obviously is, one, the price point. You can get this for under $30, but also I find this has a little bit more lemon verbena in it, and so I do enjoy that citrusy aspect. This one is really inoffensive. It's a one that a lot of people really enjoy, so you can wear this pretty much any time during the day. In the evening, you can wear this to formal events. This really is a very versatile and very gentlemanly fragrance. So this is something that had to make the list for me. Très Nuit by Armand. For my number 7 choice, this is one I had the pleasure of trying out last year, and this is Shiso by Nomenclature. I think this is actually a pretty underrated fragrance. This one, when I smell it out of the bottle, really does give me this really beautiful sort of mojito vibe. On my skin, it does play out a little bit differently. You get this nice rhubarb mixed in with a little bit of licorice, and it does have a really nice green feel to it. And the opening for me is absolutely stunning. I love it. It's very realistic and very juicy. And so it does really conjure up, this feeling of having a good time out on the patio with friends, out in the nice, beautiful weather, and just enjoying myself. And it is a really nice, unique take on a traditional men's fragrance, which is a green fragrance. So if you haven't tried this one out, you're trying to think of something a little bit different, but you do want something green, you should check out Shiso by Nomenclature. This next one is a classic in my opinion, that is Versace Pour Homme. This is citrus, and it's citrus done really well. So this is very invigorating, very energizing. It smells beautiful. This is just such a nice citrus fragrance that even though it is simple and it is an older citrus fragrance, this one still works. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. This one still works even today in my opinion. Very pleasant, people enjoy this one. And I do find this is really good for the warmer days and the spring months. Number 6 on my list is none other than English Oak and Hazelnut by Jo Malone. This is another one that I think is pretty underrated from the house. It's very simple, but it works really well. You get this nice green hazelnut top and a very woody English Oak base. It's really only that, English Oak and hazelnut, but it works really well for me. It's very fresh, very green in the opening, and it dries down to a really nice woody fragrance. So this is one that's really nice to wear in the warmer days. Definitely something safe for the office. Very enjoyable, very simple, and in my opinion also underrated from this house. That is English Oak and Hazelnut by Jo Malone. Next on my list, I have something that is a lot better suited for the evenings or maybe the colder days, and that is Azzaro Wanted by Night. This is one that I fell in love with the first time that I actually got my nose on it, which was actually in a Sephora. And this is just really beautiful, very seductive. This is actually one that I think could almost replace Dolce & Gabbana The One, which to me is a very classic date fragrance. This has, to me, a very similar purpose, but it is a little bit more modern as it is newer, and it's very seductive, so it has that nice cinnamon, little bit of spiciness, and a seductive sweetness to sort of back that up. This is really great. It has good performance, and this is perhaps one of the best releases of 2018 that I personally was sleeping on, so I got to check it out. Really, really love this one. Azzaro Wanted by Night. This next one on the list is an original by Genre Parfums, and I'm really looking forward to being able to pick up a full bottle when I get the chance. This is Voodoo, and this is, for me, the most beautiful bitter grapefruit fragrance that I've ever smelled. In fact, I haven't really smelled many fragrances that do use a bitter grapefruit, but what I really enjoy about this one is that it really takes me back to, waking up in the morning, maybe I'm traveling, staying at a hostel or something like that, and they have grapefruit. And it just has this really beautiful sort of bitter grapefruit reminding me of breakfast in the morning, getting ready before a beautiful day out in the sun. And so this is a really good one for those warmer days, and I am really going to enjoy wearing this one. For my number 3 fragrance, guys, I'm going to admit that I do actually like Sauvage quite a bit. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I think that's largely because it is such a popular fragrance. Now, if you like that Sauvage DNA, but you want something a little bit more unique, a little bit different, I think a good choice for that is X-Batch. And I had the pleasure of trying this one out recently. It has this really nice, bright pineapple, Aventus-like opening, and it dries down into a very Sauvage, clean, fresh fragrance. And it is actually really enjoyable. So if you like Sauvage and you want something that stands out a little bit, it's a little bit different, you should give X-Batch a chance. This is one I've really enjoyed. This has great projection, great performance, and it does have that DNA that I know a lot of people really love. So that is my number 3 fragrance. My number 2 fragrance, Zion by Alexandria Fragrances. Now this is a clone of Roja Parfums Elysium, and that is one that I actually really enjoy. The problem I get is that it has very poor performance. So I get almost no projection, no sillage, and it doesn't seem to last that long except as a skin scent. So it will give me a lot of longevity, but only as a skin scent. This one for me solved that problem. So I get really good sillage, really good performance, very good longevity, and it does have that Elysium DNA. So this is one that I actually really enjoy wearing. It's one of my favorite fragrances, and I really do appreciate that Hani managed to actually, in my opinion, beat the original and make a better fragrance out of Elysium. So that is my number 2 choice, that is Zion by Alexandria Fragrances. My number 1 fragrance is one that I actually just recently tried out, but it was love at first sniff. And this is another one from Alexandria Fragrances, but it is one of their originals, and it's Hafez 1984 Intense. Now this one is going to be better suited for a colder day or maybe an evening time. This one has leather and spices, and it has a nice, sweet backbone to give it a really seductive edge, in my opinion. This one is very well put together. If you like 1984, this does have that DNA to it, but it's quite a bit different, but in my opinion, a lot better. This is a home run for Hani Hafez. This is beautiful, very seductive, and actually the first time I wore this one, I did get a compliment with it. So it is one that I think other people enjoy too. It's got that nice leather to give it that masculine edge. The saffron is spicy and actually adds a little bit of a smoky quality to it. And then it has that very seductive sweetness to it as well. This is a beautiful fragrance. If you haven't checked it out, do get your nose on this one. It is absolutely worth it in my opinion. So guys, that's it for this one. Let me know in the comments what fragrances you're really looking forward to wearing this spring. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.